In a world where opportunity knows no borders, millions of Filipinos take a leap of faith, leaving home to build better lives for their families. But behind every journey abroad is a promise: protection, empowerment, and dignity. From safeguarding the rights of our modern-day heroes to strengthening policies that ensure their welfare across the globe, we uncovered the mandate, the challenges, and the transformative programs shaping the future of overseas Filipino workers. This is more than a conversation. It's a deep dive into leadership that creates real impact where it matters most. I am Romel Miranda, and this is The Game Changer. Good evening. Please welcome to our studio Department of Migrant Workers Secretary Hans Leo Jacob. Good evening, sir, and welcome to The Game Changer.
Good evening sa inyo.
Good evening,
Good evening sa inyo mga tagapanood.
Maraming salamat po, sir, for honoring us. Number one, sir, can you walk us through the core mandate, sir, of the Department of Migrant Workers, sir?
Yeah, ang Department of Migrant Workers ang primary government agency that takes care of the welfare of our OFWs. That's the general mandate, but looking closer, may regulatory functions ang Department of Migrant Workers, especially in the area of the pre-departure recruitment activities, meaning to say dapat regulated ang recruitment industry, so we license recruitment agencies. Actually, it's a threefold regulatory requirement. We license the agencies, and then we accredit the foreign principals, and then we document the workers who are selected by both. And that's the regulatory part, and in so doing, we also are into anti-illegal recruitment and anti-human trafficking, so we close down establishments that undertake illegal recruitment. We entrap individuals together with the law enforcement authorities, the PNP and the NBI, entrap individuals who undertake illegal recruitment, and also part of the IACAT, yung Interagency Council Against Trafficking. So that's just one segment of what we do, and the other part, of course, is we provide welfare services together with the OWA. So pag mga emergency cases or situations like gera sa Middle East, nandyan yung repatriation services, nandyan yung pagbigay ng financial assistance on the ground and other types of assistance. Sa mga distressed workers, we provide on-site assistance. We have 43 migrant workers offices with labor attaches all around the world, providing welfare assistance, employment assistance. Yung sa Action Fund, legal and medical assistance, may Action Fund kami. It's a 2 to 3 billion peso fund. And the other one, of course, is yung aming work in international cooperation. So we have bilateral agreements with 60 plus destinations, and that's the most of any sending country in the world. So meron tayong mga bilateral labor agreements, meron tayong cooperation on the regional ASEAN level, may cooperation on the multilateral level. So I talk to my counterparts in the ministries of labor all around the world to protect our workers. So for instance, galing akong Saudi and UAE. Kausap ko yung labor minister natin doon. And then may reintegration. Ang lawak ng aming area. Reintegration sa mga nanunumbalik. We are head of the National Reintegration Network put up by the President last year, Labor Day last year, and so we are part of an intergovernment effort that provides job, livelihood, and upskilling, skilling, facilitation, assistance to returning OFWs so they could successfully reintegrate. We operate a Maritime Training Institute in Tacloban, National Maritime Polytechnic. We operate a OFW hospital in San Fernando, Pampanga that helps 80,000 plus OFWs and their dependents, providing services. It's a level 2 hospital. So all these things, nasa responsibility namin. I'm sure I missed one or two others. It's really a comprehensive effort or task that we do at the department.
Yes, sir. You mentioned, sir, that your counterparts in the other countries are labor ministers, sir. Why do you think the policymakers of our country gave impetus in carving out this part of the former, part of the functions of the POEA and elevating it to a department level?
Yeah, sure. Kasi kailangan talaga nakatutok sa mga OFWs, departamento na nakatutok sa OFWs. Maiging makipag-coordinate sa mga host countries, my labor ministry counterparts, kasi when it comes to OFW protection, it's a responsibility of the Philippine government, of course, but since the workers work abroad, then there is a corresponding shared responsibility by the host countries. And yeah, we have bilateral ties, bilateral agreements with just about every host country with the most number of OFWs. So you're looking at Saudi, UAE, Qatar, Kuwait, even in Hong Kong, may bilateral labor relations tayo with them.
Up to the recent, sir, what are the specific priority programs of your department, sir?
Ang priority programs, those that I had mentioned, yung anti-illegal recruitment program, we've shut down around 72 establishments in the last 2 years. We have also had 36 illegal recruitment convictions in partnership, of course, with law enforcement and the DOJ and the courts. Of course, we're thankful for these convictions, and ibig sabihin nahatulan ng pagkakakulong. And then yung welfare, emergency services, basta may sigalot sa mundo. Recently nag-anunsyo kami kanina ng panibagong sigalot na naman dito sa Ukraine.
Yes,
May dalawang nasa wing tripulante. Kaya't sinasagawa na naman natin ang pagtulong sa kanila. Yeah. So these are among the things that we are prioritizing. Yung mga, basically yung sinabi ko kanina, bilateral cooperation, reintegration, and yun nga, operating the 43 different offices, and we're slated to open about 4 more, 3-4 more this year, and about 5 next year.
How's the budget, sir, of the department, sir?
Ang budget natin, we hit the 10 billion mark together with the OWA last year, and we're around 11, nearing 12 billion sa bagong national expenditure program that's submitted for Congress. Sa action fund natin, it's about 2 billion pesos on a yearly basis. But recently, dahil naubos nga because of the Feb 28 US-Israel-Iran war, ay nagutos si Pangulo ng pagdadagdag ng 3 billion sa amin.
Sir, does the department retain the collections from your regulatory functions, sir?
Yes, we do. That's maybe runs up to around 300-400 million a year that we retain. But that goes into operations. It goes back to operations. So program na yan every year in terms of we're not free to spend it, in other words, because ang DBM already sets the budget. May allocation na yung collections namin on a yearly basis kasi natatansyan na kung magkano yung collections. So it mainly goes to operations ng mga 43 posts natin.
So where do you get, sir, the money, for example, for the OFW hospital?
For the OFW hospital, there's a separate budget for that. There's around 300 to 400 million budget every year. We can run up to 500 million, but on average it's around 300-400 million a year.
How many do we have now, sir?
You mean the hospitals?
Yes, sir.
There's one hospital only in San Fernando, Pampanga, but we have numerous OFW wards in many government hospitals. And for instance, tomorrow pupunta kami sa Zamboanga para mag-inaugurate ng panibagong ward hospital, OFW wing, kumbaga,
yes, sir,
sa isang hospital sa Zamboanga. So this is a DOH project. Ito yung inatas ng Pangulo sa DOH, yung pagkakaroon ng OFW wards hospital.
How do we, sir, what are the department's effort in order to, make them not just as competitive as the other workers, but also to raise the level of salary or benefits of these workers when they are employed abroad, sir?
Yeah, so mainly two things there. One is yung bilateral cooperation natin, how we observe the labor markets abroad and how we seek changes in their wages. For instance, we're campaigning right now to increase the salary of domestic workers from $400 US a month to dollars to $500. So ongoing yung kampanya natin na yun. Many employers of OFWs in the Arab states, in the Gulf states already have been complying with this, but still many are not willing to pay $500 US a month. So, but this is an ongoing effort. The other one is upskilling, lifelong learning. So we're working closely with TESDA and the CHED and the DepEd. Yung sa CHED and DepEd is working on high school diplomas and college degrees for OFWs who are there. Parang yung equivalency at yung mga trainings na ginagawa dito para magkaroon ng high school, college degree ang isang taong nagtrabaho under baccalaureate and walang high school diploma but nakapagtrabaho na matagal. So para makredit yung kanilang trabaho experience. So we're working with CHED and DepEd on that. And then sa TESDA, yung upskilling.
Yes, sir.
Halimbawa, sabi ng Pangulo, sa isang tao nag-a-apply sa Visayas, Mindanao sa poverty level, domestic worker lang ba ang iaalok na trabaho? Meron pa bang ibang trabaho ang iaalok? Meron ba mga training programs, skills training and TESDA, for instance, along these lines? So just today, we signed a MOA with Secretary Francis Tolentino and DG Kiko Benitez para sa upskilling ng mga returning OFWs. Ibig sabihin, hindi lang domestic work ang offer na skills trainings, pwedeng barista, merong pwedeng housekeeping sa hotel, entrepreneurship, meron pa nga welding, mga ganyang klaseng offer na skills pa sa interesado yung taong kunin. So lifelong learning is very important. So halimbawa, kahit nasa abroad siya, Qatar, sa weekend or ever so often, may baking training sa baking or culinary. And then at the end of a certain period, may certificate na rin siya. We're also working with some universities. Ang University of the Philippines, may Open University, UP Vinta, tinatawag ni President Gigil Jimenez doon. Kung saan may mga micro courses, like may isang example from Lab Technician 1, gusto niya mag-Lab Technician 2, to take a microbiology course and needs to take a microbiology course to do that. And that's only just a brief course. It's not a degree. So UP President Gigil Jimenez has offered this particular course para pag nakuha ng tao yun, papakita niya yung certificate dun sa employer niya, mapopromote siya. So these things called micro-credentialing are also ongoing. So we partnered with the UP, partnered with the other institutions to undertake this. It's not perfect. It's in its initial stages. So we need to press on para magkaroon ng ganap na programa ito.
Sir, hindi naman po lahat ng napupuntahan po ng mga kababayan natin talagang magaganda rin po, or may mga instances po ng abuse or below standard po ng work and living condition po. How does the department, sir, monitor, or do you have some sort of a network where you can actually monitor all these deployments, sir?
Sure. Yung monitoring capability natin, meron tayong on so many levels. One, of course, is yung PhilCom outreach ng mga labor attachés natin. So everywhere I go, we put together all the Filipino community members. Just came from Cambodia, so we opened our 43rd Migrant Workers office there. So nakilala ko yung mga Filipino community members doon. Before that, I went to the Gulf states, visited my counterparts in the Filipino communities there. So that's one, touching base with our community members, Filipino community. The other one, of course, is yung outreach natin sa host governments para ma-improve ang kanilang situation, ma-monitor ang kanilang conditions. Meron din tayong tinatawag na monitoring system. It's an electronic monitoring system where recruitment agencies report the plight of their workers on site. So electronic yan, nababasa ng mga evaluators natin. The other way is nag-open tayo ng Kamusta Kabayan call center. tinatawagan yung mga tao, kinakamusta yung mga OFWs para malaman kung kamusta sila. So these are among the things that we do to monitor their plight. Of course, our labor attachés on the ground to do this also, doing company visits, going visits to the farms kung nagtatrapo agricultural worker, kinakamusta yung mga workers sa employer households kung kasambahay through the host country recruitment agency or government agency. So these are among the things we do to monitor their situation.
Sir, yung pong in terms of profile po, sir, ng dami ng mga pinagdadalan po ng mga overseas Filipino workers natin. Alin po yung mga traditional talagang marami po doon? Ano naman po yung mga parang nag-emerge po as market for OFWs?
Yeah, yung markets natin, of course, there's always the Middle East, the Gulf states, and Hong Kong, and ang mga malalaking market. But also, we're reaching out to countries that are opening doors for our OFWs, have demand, the labor market demands for our OFWs. Central and Eastern Europe is a good example of this. So we've had a series of bilateral agreements with Austria, with Slovenia, with Czech Republic, with Croatia, and up and coming yung Hungary and other European countries. Denmark is another one. Opening doors so that while may labor market demand for our OFWs, we also make sure that our migration governance systems, yung kinikwento ko kanina, licensing of recruiters, accreditation of foreign principals, documentation of workers are made known. Yung tinatawag na regular pathway ito ng documenting workers are made known to the host country. Para sabihin ng host country, uy, okay pala sa Pilipinas kasi merong ganong klaseng processing to ensure na decente yung trabaho pupuntahan ng OFW. So these are the things that we advance or promote na dapat protektahan ng ating mga OFW. So an example it would be yung government-to-government hiring agreement natin with Croatia for the hiring of hotel workers. So nagkaroon na ng first batch of 250. They left about 2 months ago. And we're working on the next batch. And probably diversify yung jobs categories to include caregivers and such. So this is just an example, yung bilateral labor cooperation natin. Croatia is the most recent experience natin dito.
Sir, how systematic or methodical po, sir, yung, for example, from recruitment to pre-departure at saka po yung actual deployment na po nila sa abroad? Ano po yung coordination system po natin doon?
Yeah, of course, yun nga, as I mentioned, it's a threefold regulatory authority, essentially. So we license the recruitment agencies. We make sure that there are requirements to license. Licensing is a privilege and not a right. So one will apply to become a recruitment agency. So may mga requirements yan. So we carefully license them. And then once we license them, they will bring in the employers, and there are another set of requirements for accreditation of principals or employers, as we call them. And once the employer has been accredited, they will start recruiting kasi legal na. And then we document the workers they select. So tinitingnan natin yung kontrata, they process, pasok na yung medical, pasok na yung test, the training requirements. And then when the contract is presented, then we register the contract. Of course, nandyan din yung rule on placement fees. So placement fees are also regulated. Up to 1 month salary lang dapat ang i-charge ng placement or recruitment fees. May exception for domestic workers and seafarers. Dapat zero ang placement fees. And then if the country itself disallows the placement fees, such as the US for H-2B workers, such as the UK, such as the Netherlands and Ireland and Qatar and Japan, bawal. Pinagbabawal na rin natin. Zero kahit anong job category mag-charge ng placement fees. So the process essentially is there. One of the tasks we're doing is digitalization. So we have digitalized the process into what we call an OFW pass system. Yung documentation of workers, nearly 500,000 na ang na-issue ng digital system natin. And we have other digital programs in store. Meron tayong DMW app that is, we're part of egov.ph. So, nandun tayo sa network of agencies within egov.ph. Kung pumunta ang isang tao sa egov.ph, nandun na ang DMW para mag-render ng digital services.
So, for example, sir, if there's any concern or problem po dun sa kung saang bansa po sila, assured po sila na meron at least 20 tao na makokontak sila. Ibig sabihin, isa po from the DMW, isa po yung kanilang recruiter.
Of course, the recruiter, and more often than nga, dapat sa recruiter kasi mas kilala ng recruiter personally yung tao. Kasi kami naman, we register them, yes, we document them, but they do not formally appear to us in the sense na iniisesa namin sila at kinakausap.
Sa dami po.
So, yes, sa dami. So, it would be the recruitment agencies. And then us, of course, our labor attaches have this capability and perform their tasks in terms of trying their best to resolve problems kung ang isang worker ay nagreklamo yung employer niya, lalo na kung kasambahay, di tayo naman nagdudulog sa host government ng problema at susubukang ayusin yung problema.
Sir, ito po, i-relate ko lang po sa experience ko po bilang estudyante po na nagpunta sa Amerika. Nung pong pre-departure orientation namin, meron po mga bagay po silang dinidiscuss sa amin na context, no? Kunwari, kung ano yung mga pwede niyong pag-usapan, ano yung mga ugali ng tao doon, yung kultura po nila. Yung po ba kasama din po sa
yes, of
orientation?
Course. In fact, country-to-country specific na yan. So, for instance, when you're looking at Canada, kakapirma lang ng the latest bilateral agreement natin was yung pinirmahan sa Canada nung last official visit ni Presidente sa Vancouver about 3 weeks ago. And yan, nandyan yung country-specific, Canada-specific briefings. And then may mga materials. Singapore, I came from Singapore, so meron ding ganong klaseng mga briefings about adjustment to Singaporean life, Singaporean households, dahil karamihan ng OFWs doon kasambahay. Sa Gulf states, ganun din. Language is also important, so may mga basic language trainings, basic orientation sa language, conversational, basic terms needed. So yes, meron tayong ganong klaseng mga sinasagawa rin. And OWA has a role to play also kasi the OWA handles the pre-departure orientation. We handle the pre-employment orientation. Ang kaibahan nun is yung pre-departure, may trabaho nang nakuha. Yung pre-employment, yung nag-iisip-isip pa lang siya. So, mas general public orientation yun. At meron na rin doon mga country-specific sa modules, electronic kasing modules, nababanggit na rin yung each country-specific at may pointers na rin doon as early as the pre-employment orientation. Habang nag-iisip pa lang siya, may idea na siya ng mga nuances o kaibahan ng iba't ibang host country culture and systems and processes and even the language.
Thank you, sir. We've discussed the systems and the solutions, but leadership always begins with a story. When we return, the journey and the experiences that led Secretary Cacdac where he is today. Stay with us. Ito, sir, more on the po nyo, yung personal po nyo.
Narito na ang schedule ng inyong paboritong Lotto games mula sa Philippine Charity Sweepstakes Office.
Araw-araw ang draws ng 2D Lotto at 3D Lotto tuwing alas 2 ng hapon, alas 5 ng hapon at alas 9 ng gabi.
At pagsapit ng alas 9 ng gabi, sasamahan pa yan ng big time games. Tuwing Lunes, magpapapremyo rin ang 4D Lotto, Mega Lotto 645 at Grand Lotto 655.
Pagdating ng Martes, magdadala ng panalo ang 6D Lotto, Lotto 642, Super Lotto 649 at Ultra Lotto 658.
Tuwing Miyerkules, umaarangkada ang papremyo ng 4D Lotto, Mega Lotto 645 at Grand Lotto 655.
Pagsapit ng Huwebes, tutok na sa 6D Lotto, Lotto 642 at Super Lotto 649.
Mapapanood naman tuwing Biyernes ang pagbola ng winning numbers ng 4D Lotto, Mega Lotto 645 at Ultra Lotto 658.
At tuwing Sabado, abangan ang 6D Lotto, Lotto 642 at Grand Lotto 655.
Sigurado namang pasasayahin ang araw ng linggo ng exciting prizes ng Super Lotto 649 at Ultra Lotto 658.
Sali na dahil baka ikaw na ang susunod na mananalo
At maging Lotto Milyonaryo. Araw-araw, let's play Lotto! Dito lang yan sa DATV at IBC.
We're still watching The Game Changer with DMW Secretary Hans Cacdac. Now let's go beyond the policies and focus on the person behind the position. In this next part, we get to know the journey, the experiences, and the leadership that continue to shape the direction of the Department of Migrant Workers. Sir, start po natin yung paano po kayo napunta sa ganito pong field na naging secretary na po kayo ng DMW? Saan po ba kayo nagsimula sa gobyerno?
Nagsimula ako, after law school, nagtrabaho ako sa isang NGO, ang tawag sa kanya Sentro ng Alternatibong Lingap Panligal. And we work with the basic sectors, or work with the labor sector and the urban poor sector. And from there, I thought of entering government. So I entered the Department of Labor and Employment in 2001. It's actually my 25th year in government this year. And it's the Department of Labor. So I moved on to Overseas Employment Migration Governance in 2006.
Yes, sir.
So it's my 20th year naman
20th
in migration governance with the POEA. And then to OWA, I was briefly the Undersecretary for Labor Relations. Mga strikes and lockouts. Yun ang forte ko sa DOLE noong 2001, yung mga strikes and lockouts with unions. Work with the Bureau of Labor Relations and the National Conciliation Mediation Board. Yeah, that's how I moved into government, and yeah, I've been there ever since. I thought I would not last long, but I've been here 25 years.
What keeps you grounded, sir, when it comes to public service and now as secretary, sir?
Yeah, I think when you're in government, I think you really just have to enjoy the service with the people. I come from an upbringing, educational background where there was a lot of this. I came from a Franciscan school and a Jesuit school, and there's a lot of should I say teaching, Catholic teaching, theological teaching about service. And being
yes,
a man for others, and preferential option for those who are in need. And I come from a middle class, working class background. So my parents, my dad was an engineer and for a federal government agency, the Voice of America, and my mom was a public school teacher. So come from a humble background. My mom and dad never told me to be highbrow or to serve the rich and to be out there being prosperous and such. Just live a simple life. I think all of those things came together, and this kind of outlook makes me enjoy the work that I do, being with workers. And when my dad passed in 2008, work was so close to my dad that I miss him to this day, and I feel like I'm with my dad when I work with workers, work for workers. So that's one of the things that drives me more than anything. A lot of things really motivate one, and those are the things that drive me every day.
I think, sir, you just described one of the most admirable background of a person who goes into government service, no, sir. Personally, sir, I really admire your story. Sir,
Thank you.
are there any moments, sir, in your 25 years in government that somehow made you, teka muna, parang mahirap to ano po ba, sir? May mga ganun po ba kayong moments?
Yeah, of course. There's no question that the work is difficult. But I always, there's a saying, I didn't get the memo. My dad always told me to strive for a lot of challenging things. He's a war veteran. There's a side of my family that's military, by the way. My lolo was PMA class 1916. So public service din ang pinanggalingan ng mga ninuno ko. My lola from the Ilonggo side, all school teachers. My lolo, public service din yan. And my dad always instilled in me a work ethic and a drive that told me, just keep doing it. Just keep doing what you like to do and keep facing the challenge head on. No fear, mga ganyan, and so it's always been a challenge for me to take on one task after another. So So yes, there are challenges. There's no question about it. There's a degree of difficulty, but I've always picked myself up. If I fail, I pick myself up and rise above again. Again, I didn't get the memo. I didn't get the memo that said you can't do it. You're scared enough. You're not bold enough. You're not tough enough. I didn't get that memo, so
Yes,
I just keep on working.
What are some of the important leadership traits that you want to see, sir, especially with your people, sir, at the DMW?
Oh yeah, today we also marked a hall for a deceased colleague, and I did note in my message this afternoon that particular colleague of ours who died, his name is Robert Larga, former director, was a no-nonsense guy. He would just come to me and we'd start talking about problems, plot our course, and get back to each other with the achievements and problems and how we could solve them. You know, make things simple and yet powerful and effective, in a sense that we deliver on our tasks and our responsibilities. Government life is relatively simple. What complicates things in government life is ambition, greed, politics. Yan. Of course, politics is part of our daily life, but when it is brought to an excess, brought to a level of selfish purposes and greed and ambition, then that's when things go wrong. So as long as you basically stick to the basic simple teachings in life, what makes you a good person, that was taught to us way back in grade school and kinder,
Yes,
and what
sir.
have you, then and then the church teachings, of course, and that will be fine, I think.
From his journey to his vision, what's next for our migrant workers under Secretary Cacdac's leadership? Don't go away, the Game Changer will return after this short break.
Fall in love with Metro Manila as you walk the cobbled streets of this walled city. Where you can find peace inside old churches built hundreds of years ago. Within the city are refreshing pockets of nature. Where business flourish in diversity. Where new friends meet. A city where you'll keep coming back for more.
Welcome back to the Game Changer. Let's continue our conversation and now focus on what lies ahead for our migrant workers. Sir, as we continue, sir, moving forward, sir, for the next probably, hopefully, 5 years, 10 years from now, sir, ano po yung direction po, sir, na sa tingin nyo importante sa DMW, sir?
Yeah, we're plotting our course. We plotted our course. Actually, we have what's called a LAMP, labor management plan, and labor migration governance plan for the next 5, 10, 15 years. And there we have developed ways in which, number one, nabanggit ko na yung iba, yung developing a more digitalized means to serve our public. Digital is the way to go in terms of regulation. It makes the do-gooders, the good guys, operate efficiently, and at the same time, it should be a system that will capture the wrongdoers, to make sure that we spot the wrongdoers in these digitalized systems. So one way that we can do this is to make sure that all of the, for instance, all of the recruitment industry owners are properly digitalized in terms of their identities in our databases, and this in turn is hooked up with national government systems, law enforcement, etc., para mas madaling matrack things like money laundering, for instance.
Yes,
Kapag alam namin yung identity ng tao through digital means at nako-communicate to with law enforcement and the Anti-Money Laundering Council, mas madali nating malalaman o matatrack yung kanilang recruitment as well as their financial activities. Of course, all of this with the respective privacy protections, again, for the do-gooders, for the good, well-meaning citizens. The other thing is yung ating welfare systems, yung administrative presence natin in just about every country where there are OFWs. There are around 93, I think, overseas posts, embassies, but we are present in 43, so we need to make up for the 50. We need to put up migrant workers offices in the 50 more. Anyway, ito na yung maliliit na bansa, yung mga Central Europe, Eastern Europe, Central Asian countries, South America. Ito yung mga bansa na relatively mas maliit na yung konti ng bilang ng mga OFWs as compared to, say, Saudi and UAE. But that's also a goal. We must be present wherever we be. And once again, digitally network tayo. For seafarers, yung monitoring, of course, as well as the land-based workers, monitoring should be sharpened, further sharpened. We need to have more monitoring systems. Where, for instance, we have a situation room in the office, and we want to further improve the situation room. So mas parang ganito na may mga communication systems kami that can easily track workers more accurately and easily track
in real time,
workers, yes, in real time, so we know where they are. Again, bearing in mind the privacy systems and requirements of the host countries as well as ours. And reintegration, of course, will always be a work in progress for us right now. Kasi ang kaibahan ng reintegration, una-una, it's the youngest government program that we have. Kasi itong mga regulation, 50 years old plus na ito eh. Ang reintegration, mga 15 years old, relatively new government program. But what we want to do there is have a tighter coordination between the agencies involved in job livelihood and skills facilitation, skills upgrading facilitation for our workers. So kanina yung step in the right direction, nagpartner kami with Sec Francis of Dole, Director General Kiko Benitez of the TESDA, Administrator PY Kaunan of the OWA. Nagsanib puwersa kami lahat para sa reintegration. So reintegration remains to be in our sights. Kasama dyan yung binanggit, tinanong nyo kanina, yung lifelong learning.
Yes,
Paghahanda sa mga tao. Social cost management, natanong nyo rin, it's also very important. I was an OFW child, so I know for sure about the insecurities and the habits and the ways that OFW children develop in the light of them being left behind. So kailangan ma-address yun, yung mga psychosocial counseling, yung mga networks and activities that I mentioned, values orientation, recreational, etc., artistic activities. Lahat yun. So social cost remains to be another very, very important area that we should further enhance and develop. So these are among the things. I'm sure I left out a couple of more. Anti-human trafficking, third country hiring, yung nasa Manila to Dubai, tapos pagdating sa Dubai, saan tatalong, saan bansa, kung saan nabibiktima ng illegal recruitment at human trafficking. So there are many really wish lists in mind, but more or less I've covered the things that we want sa bilateral labor cooperation to cover as many more countries, and dun sa mga may agreements na further deepening pa of our relations with them. So these are among the things that we need to cover in years to come.
But it's ano sir, it's reassuring to hear that. Although there are some people who would go to that path, no, pupunta sa isang bansa tapos tatalo sa ibang bansa. Basically sir, hindi niyo na-cover 'yun dun sa monitoring niyo. And yet, when they do encounter problem, you still help them.
Yes, we are developing a system right now. Right now, of course, we're doing our best. We shelter them if they need help. So kung let's say Manila, Riyadh, tumalo ng Dubai, nalure doon, tapos wala palang trabaho doon o mababa ang sweldo, so sineshelter namin sila sa Dubai. So things like that, we have these measures to help them. Action Fund, as I mentioned, legal, medical, financial assistance program. However, ang kailangan masugpo talaga dito yung practice ng hiring for substandard conditions doon sa third country. Kaya ito, nakikipag-bilateral kami with the second country, yung unang pupuntahan, and with the third country. So by way of example, we're talking to Lithuania, a common third country, or second country. Pwedeng Manila, Lithuania, tatalo ng Dubai at walang trabaho pala doon. Manila, Lithuania, Europe at wala palang trabaho doon, Western Europe. O kaya Manila, Dubai, Lithuania. Pwede ring third country yung Lithuania. So, this is just an example. And before itong nangyari itong sigalot sa Middle East, nagka-problema sa crudo, nagka-problema sa pag-transport ng goods, tumaas ang bilihin, tumaas ang crudo, nagkaroon ng iba't ibang problema in terms of employment and underemployment. But before that, we were doing fine. We had targeted 5-6% growth. Unemployment was down. Underemployment was down in 20-25-year lows. Inflation was down, controlled to 2%. Bumaba pa nga ng less than 2%. Tumataas ang foreign direct investment, but of course now we're facing these challenges, but I'm sure we can hurdle them in due time, depende sa pag-resolve ba nitong sigalot. But already the President, with this uplift program, the uplift committee has taken the necessary steps with the DOE and the DA and the other relevant agencies, DTI, the NEDA, the DepDef, in terms of addressing the problems. And we've actually been noticed already, or at least acknowledged by, I think it was the Asian Development Bank, who said that we are on the right path in terms of the way the President has managed this crisis. And recently nag-announce na naman siya ng una sa amin, yung 3 billion replenishment ng Repatriation and Assistance Action Fund. And then recently yung mga financial assistance here in the Philippines. So I think first day na nung pag-release nung mga cash benefits out of it. So I think the President is definitely on the right track, and that's the way to go. We're restoring ourselves back to normalcy, and if we could just get ourselves back to where we were before this crisis occurred, then I think we'll be fine.
Thank you, sir. Siguro, sir, finally, for you, sir, what could be your definition or description of a game changer in public services?
I think, yeah, that's an often used term, no? I think a game changer would be somebody who could, it's two things, I think. Somebody, there's such a thing as thinking outside of the box, or something who does something out of the ordinary, does systems and services that strike at the heart, pull the heartstrings of the people, strike the imagination and spur the imagination and the admiration and the trust of the people and government. But also, I think it goes with not just thinking out of the box, but simply just thinking within the box and performing your duties within the box. Correct, your basic tasks. You don't have to do anything spectacular, in the sense that you don't need to wave a magic wand to be a game changer. You just simply deliver on the promises made by the mandates under your agency. In our case, help OFWs in need, make it easier, red carpet, hindi red tape, sabi ng Presidente sa amin, for our OFWs in our systems and processes. We make sure that the Action Fund is used to the hilt, it's used to provide legal, medical, financial assistance, and deliver. And so doing, we restore the public trust. We know that when people come to us, run to us, which is the main purpose of the DMW anyway, may matatakbuhan yung OFWs, nandun kami.
Yes, sir.
And that in itself, not so much change attitudes, but at least make people look up to government and say, eto, pwede nating pagkatiwalaan tong gobyerno na ito at itong kagawaran na ito. And that for me is enough. And whether that's called being a game changer or not, we leave that to the observers. But that for me is enough in terms of service in government.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
I just hope, sir, there are more millions of people like you, sir, in government. I really admire you, sir. Thank you very much,
Colonel.
sir. Thank you
po.
for
Thank you
honoring
po
us,
sa
sir.
inyo.
Thank you po.
God bless po sa inyo. Nice to meet you, sir.
Apo, sir. Thank you, sir. Tonight, we've learned that behind every overseas Filipino worker is a government striving to protect their rights, uphold their dignity, and create better opportunities for their future. Leadership is not only measured by policies crafted, but by the lives transformed and the hopes restored to millions of Filipino families. I am Romel Miranda, and this has been The Game Changer. Good evening, and thank you for watching.